Hey guys, it's Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. It's time for installment number 3 of our Penguin Play Stamp-A-Stack. We have made 8 gorgeous cards in 2 different designs in this Stamp-A-Stack. It's time for our 3rd design, which is this season's greetings, and this Stamp-A-Stack makes 2 of this design. Now, if you missed the last video, we made 4 to the coolest friend ever, and we made 4 be cool, be chill, be merry in video number 1 for a total of 10 awesome winter greetings. Now, if there is a Stamp-A-Stack class packet left for you to follow along with, you'll find that at kitchentablestamper.com/shop. The kit will make 10 cards, and it is a Wonder Recipe number 13 class. So if you missed video number 1, then you missed where we cut our designer series paper. You get a quarter of a package of the Penguin Playmates designer series paper. We chose 4 designs, and we cut it according to Wonder Recipe number 13, which is a 1-sheet wonder. And now we have 4 pieces of designer series paper left for our last 2 cards. I'm going to grab what's left of my kit. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Let's get the card kits. Now, in the card kit, you'll have your card bases in envelopes. We do the die cutting and punching for the cardstock pieces for you. We can't do your stamping. It's against Stampin' Up rules. And we don't do your embossing because we just couldn't do that much embossing. It's hundreds and hundreds of cards, but we do all the die cutting and punching for you. We're working a Stamp-A-Stack here. So the first thing I did was I went through all of my cards and I did the background. So let's start there with this one. We're going to fold this up with a bone folder. It's already scored for you. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to pop this into the Stamparatus and stamp it with the Knit Together background stamp. I love this stamp. When I do these backgrounds in the Stamparatus, the first thing I do is put the stamp on the Stamparatus. I ink it, and then I stamp it on the grid paper. All right, then that gives me an idea where the pattern is going to imprint. Then I can put my card right inside that area, and I know that I'm going to get edge to edge coverage on my background stamp. We're going to stamp Knit Together with just jade ink on just jade cardstock. So let's get that good and inked up. And when I'm doing Stamp-A-Stack, I do all of them at once. So we got 10 cards in this Stamp-A-Stack. I would have done all 6 just jade and all 4 soft seafoam all at one time, and batch work through these cards. You can bust them out fast that way. So when I'm doing a background, I hold one hand still and move the other one around on the background. One hand just applies pressure while the other one moves. And I give a good press right in the center. And take your time and let the ink transfer. You want a really good background. And if you lift up carefully and there's a little spot, you can usually go back with the Stamparatus, but if you take your time, you might not even need to do that. So let's take a look and see. That's stuck to the stamp good. You can know you got a good impression when it completely suctions to the stamp. Look at that gorgeous knit. Cute. Love this background. Perfect with the penguins too, to keep them warm. All right, next thing we're gonna do is our designer series paper. Now we've got the 3x3 pieces that were left from the Wonder Recipe, the last 4 that we have to put, but also got this stitched scallop rectangle. We want a little piece of this Misty Moonlight in the background. So let's get that cut. Our Misty Moonlight stitched scallop rectangle came from Stitch So Sweetly. It's the second largest one, and I always note what size fits in. Once I have one of these die sets and I know I like to layer paper in it, I measure and I write it right on my chart, and I never have to measure again. So we're gonna cut 2 pieces that are 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. You got a quarter pack of this Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper, so you could choose anything you like, and there will be lots left over to play with. I'm going to stick to the sample. I really like the way it turned out. Let's slice off 3 1/4, and then 2 slices that are 2 1/8. Now we've got all of our Designer Series paper for both of the cards. Let's glue it all down. Gonna do liquid glue to the stitched scallop rectangle, and then my 2 Designer Series paper pieces, we'll just kind of toggle them on the background. Let's see, sometimes I like to just get them the way I like them, and then pick them up together and glue them like they're one piece. Looking pretty good. Little glue on our stitched scallop rectangle and center. Same thing for this one. That's just so cute. All right, next up, we've got some white cardstock. In your envelope, you're going to find a little rectangle. We're going to turn it into a little Season's Greetings hill. And in the card packet, you have some half sheets of white. Let's do some stamping. So the first thing I want to do is that little hill. And in your card kit, you had a piece of white. It's 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. We're going to grab some grid paper here and the hill from Penguin Place. So Penguin Place has this awesome little curve, really cute little snowdrift, and we are going to stamp that across our 3 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch piece to make the hill. I'm gonna go a little bit wider. We don't need to do the whole curve, but I want a nice downhill slope for my penguin that's sliding on its belly. There's our curve. Now, Season's Greetings. I'm using Misty Moonlight for the curve and the greeting. I'm gonna put that greeting right underneath the hill. Slide that aside. Now, the half sheets that are in your kit, we're gonna start with our penguins. I've got the little standing dude, and remember, we're gonna stamp him upside down because it's gonna be easier to punch him that way. Let's even take a look at our punch here so I can show you. All right, so the orientation is that he's gonna be upside down and in this right corner, and that'll give us the least amount of abuse to our cardstock. We can punch him out real easy there. So in that corner, and now he's gonna go in there upside down. So I always check the orientation of the punch before I stamp. That way we do the least amount of damage to our paper with these builder punches, and we have easy access to the image and punch it right out. Now, little feet, we're gonna do those in Calypso Coral. And we can just nip those right out of the side. So we can go one here, one here. We need our little sliding penguin. So let's grab him. We're gonna stamp him in basic gray also. And here. Oh, we need a little foot for this dude. Let's grab that Calypso Coral. And the little foot again. We need 3 feet for these penguins. Our penguins need beaks, so let's get our little punched dude. He's got this little forward-facing beak. We'll do that one in Calypso Coral. And then there's a side view also. There's 2 different beaks in that Penguin Place. So we're gonna put the side view on our sliding penguin. Pretty cute. We need some presents. I did a few ahead. You'll need 2 fresh freesia, and you'll need 2 Misty Moonlight. I did one of each. Gotta clean off. Change to Misty Moonlight. There's our little presents. Now, penguin paper dolls aren't any fun without the clothes. You had scraps of mint macaron and fresh freesia in your kit. Grab some scraps. We're gonna do a scarf and fresh freesia, and a hat and fresh freesia. And of course you can mix and match however you want. My other set is fresh freesia and Misty Moonlight. So we're shaking it up a little bit with the mint macaron here. All right. Our hats and our presents. Our little side slidey penguin needs to be fussy cut, but we can go ahead and pop out the feet. Uh-oh, that foot ran away. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fussy cut my hat and scarf and my little slidey penguin. And I'll meet you right back here and we'll assemble these dudes. All right, I'm back with all my dudes and presents. Let's go ahead and dress up our second set of penguins. And we're going to have a little hat here for our dude. A little bit of, just a tiny bit of glue on the brim. A little bit on the scarf. And we got glue his feet. They just make me smile. I love putting hats and scarves on them. Oh my gosh. And hat. And a foot. Just put a little dab of glue on the end. And right up underneath the tail. All right, gotta give that a second to grab. And let's go back to our little season's greeting, the little hill. We're just gonna follow the curve. I don't know if you find your curve is just a little high. I think mine is. You can take a little trim along the bottom. And take about maybe 1/8 of an inch off the bottom there. One on each card. Now we've got some trees. They're already punched out. We punched them ahead using the pine tree punch, but what they don't have yet is some texture. So if you look at this one, we ran a little texture on there. So we're going to pop that through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to use the Greenery embossing folder. So these are 2 minis. You get them together in one pack. We're going to use this one that looks kind of like it's crocheted or knitted, and we can pop both trees in at one time and crank it through, give it a nice little pattern. You can do 4 trees at a time in this folder. You can really get a lot of texture on a lot of pieces pretty quick. Got them where I want them. Let's make sure they're straight. There we go. Don't want any diagonal knitting. Got number 1 here. I'll put number 3. Then our folder with our trees. And another number 3. Give it a crank. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? I love that texture. Pop that aside. Bring our sample back in here. And our cards. Now it's time to glue our tree and our penguins. I'm going to use some liquid glue. We're going to create a little scene, a little tippy tree, one for each, and then a little sitting penguin. And a little sliding penguin. Aren't they funny, sliding down the hill? Ah, ha, ha, love it. All right. Now for the little presents. We're going to do one flat and one bumped. And let's see, you know what? I think I'm going to do my bow first. We got this gorgeous gray granite ribbon. We need one bow for each card. You're going to have a nice little length of this left to play. And a little bit of designer series paper too, actually quite a bit. So you can just keep going with this. Make all your winter holiday cards, or change up the greeting and make them for friends in the gray days of winter. Send a little happy mail. All right, we got one. Gonna apply our little bows with glue dots. Kind of off the edge of the hill there. Cuties. Then, because we're almost at the end of the roll, I'm going to apply a little glue dot to my freesia present. Oh, look at that. I got 3 more dots. And then dimensional for the blue present. One for each card. Don't cover your greeting. And stars. We've got a couple left here. We need one for the top of each tree. We cut these stars for, if you're cutting your own kit and you're looking for the stars, we cut these using the Give It a Whirl dies. It's a great die set with lots of fun little wingman dies, like supporting dies, hearts, arrows, clouds. There's the stars that we're using. And just pop them on with a little dimensional. And then we get to decorate the tree again with the pearls. These pearls make the perfect ornaments. What color? We did one of each on the last ones. Now I don't know. Well, this is my second set. What color was my first one? So I did the lighter purple, the freesia, and the pink, the blushing bride. So on this one, I'm going to do the blue, balmy blue, and the Highland Heather. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my pearl's going to get stuck in my putty. 1, 2, 3. Ah, are they cute? All right, you guys, that's it. There's our Stampa stack. We've got 2 of this design and 4 of this design and 4 of this design. If you've got any questions about the class, email marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. What a stack of cards, right? And to see if we have Penguin Play Stampa Stack class packets, you can check out kitchentablestamper.com/shop and then use the product filter to check for class packets. To shop Stampin' Up 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next class. Bye, guys.